Doing today, sir?
Oh, everything's good. Lovely day here in Virginia.
Absolutely. You're okay. So UNVA. I'm right underneath you in North Carolina myself, man.
That's what's up.
It's all right down here. So, to kind of get started, all right now, Time for Change, TFC band. Where did that name? First of all, where did you guys come up with the name for Time for Change?
Well, originally, about 43 years ago, they originally started off as 25th Century Band, and I guess they were trying to. Well, I guess in that era, they were coming up with a lot of names that were futuristic, so they was trying to come up with something that would put them at that point, ahead of their time. And so over the years, they ended up changing it, through a lot of management changes and just a lot of different directions they were trying to go. They ended up coming up with still keeping TFC, the initials, and just changing it to Time for Change because over the time, period, a lot of stuff going on in the world, they just wanted things to be a little different than the norm. So that's how they came up with the name Time for Change.
Okay, so it was kind of pretty much self-explanatory, and also within like a learning device as well that, expressive feeling that, hey, it is time for change.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Now, who are the members exactly? Let everybody out there in Radio Land know the members of the group, because I know it's like. How about letting everyone know the members of the group, like the names of the members?
Well, we have John Hodges, who's pretty much the president and the band leader, and he sings bass, plays percussion. And we have Dario Outlaw, who does the choreography, comes up with all the moves and the dance steps, and he's also a vocalist too, and he plays percussion.
Okay.
And then we have myself, Jermaine Newsom, I go by Jay, and I'm the music director, producer, keyboard player, sound guy, and whatever hat I need to wear that we don't have. Then we have Deneen Brooks, who's a female vocalist. She's awesome. She's the only female in the group, and she does a phenomenal job. Then we have Ronald Smith, who's the lead vocalist as well. Then we have Oscar Waters, who plays bass. There's Al Huntley, who does the drums. And we have Dentrell Ford, who plays the guitar.
All right. Now, how long have you all been together? How long has Time for Change been as one in a group?
Now, the total existence of this group is 44 years.
Oh, man. That's amazing.
Combined of Time for Change, 25th Century Band and Time for Change. And some of the members that started out this group, they started straight out of high school. Some of the members are still here. The original members are still here. I've been with the group myself about going on 6 years. Actually, at the end of this year, it'll be 6 years.
Okay. And, that kind of explains why when people found out that you guys were going to be there, like Time for Change, they're like TFC band. And so people know who you all are. How has the public, since you've, even in your 6 years of being part of the group, how has the fans and the public received you all? Like, do you feel the love that it is out there for you? Do you see it yourself?
Well, when you look at the type of work that we do, it's a fishbowl, so to speak, because you have so many bands that do so many different things, with overall them being similar because they're cover bands. The difference is because we travel so much, in our area is a lot of bands, and we don't get a chance to showcase our talent here locally just because of our scheduling. But when we are home and we are local, the love that we get is just, it's crazy because people always, we live in a society where people compare things. And so we're always being compared to other people who, they may have thought what's the best thing since sliced bread, and then they hear us and be like, well, where have y'all been? We don't see y'all. Right. And so, I have to jump on the social media band to try to, get people to really see what we do because, the videos and all the stuff that we do, people don't really get a chance to see that. So I have to go on the social media and try to make it so people can just keep up with what's going on and really get the full essence of, what Time for Change is all about.
That makes sense. Now, as well, okay, now when you guys, you travel and you all have this whole production that you work on yourselves. You bring everything to the table, okay? You do your lighting, if I'm correct. Your wardrobe changes. You guys take care of all that yourself, right?
Yes, it's all in-house as far as uniforms and all the equipment, setting up of the stage plots and all of that. We do all of that from getting in the van, driving to the venues to unloading equipment, setting it up to changing, getting on stage, performing, breaking it down, putting it back up, and then getting back on the road.
Yeah, right, and even to your choreographing of the steps that you guys do while you're performing, right? I mean, that's amazing, and the reason I say that is because here's the big question. Now, a lot of people have people who do these things for them. I mean, they just rehearse, they sing, they got choreographers. Now, you guys do it all yourself and still manage to get it done and do it right and have so many people love a show that you all put together. How difficult is that? Or is it even difficult to you guys at this point? Like,
well, when I came in the band, I've been on the music industry side of things, so I kind of understand how it is to have people do things for you. And being on the live side of it, I understand how it is to have a crew of people to do things for you. But when I came to this band and I seen that they didn't have people to do things that, I was used to seeing, I was kind of shocked because I'm like, it has to be a workload, to get up, drive, get dressed, unload equipment, set it up, perform for 3-4 hours, then break the stuff down, get back in the van and drive, and then do it again and do it again. So it kind of was intriguing of a thing because I'm like, well, wow, how did these guys do it? And
right.
They've been doing it. It's easy for them.
Man, that is absolutely amazing, and because I thought to myself and I said, I know sometimes you all probably go somewhere to play at a venue that maybe you've never even been to before, and here it is, you have to be able to set your lighting up, and I'm gonna tell you what, that is real serious work ethic. I know, don't get me wrong, everybody out there in Radio Land, like, it's great to have modernized and moved on and things of that nature, but this right here also shows just I guess the essence of what music and just the feel of music and even a live band, as you said before, what it's really all about. Because like you say, live bands have to set these things up a lot of times themselves. And before there was lighting crews and all that stuff, they were doing that. And as you say, Time for Change started, 45 years ago, you said?
Yes, 4 or 5 years ago. And they all started out of high school with the idea and the dream to do something phenomenal, and that was to keep the essence of what they heard, which was real music to them, alive. So 4 or 5 years later, the generation that is here today that might not even understand why there is a person playing the drums or bass when they so used to hear music that's programmed, is still able to do it. There's still Earth, Wind & Fire, there's still the Jacksons, there's still a lot of groups from those back in those days that still go on tour and still bring that same essence to the stage, and you'd be like, wow, this sounds just like music my mom used to listen to, and now you see why she used to listen to it, because the essence of it just grabbed you, it did something to you. Where today's music might capture just the younger audience, but the older music captures all audience because it meant something, it had meaning, it had feeling.
Right, and so with Time for Change, people are getting a real actual show. I mean, they might have to take a second and sit and catch a breather while the lights go down for you guys to do the wardrobe change, and then it's curtains up again, and then the jams are dropping again, and that's the real essence of performance. Now my next question is, how do you all come up with your choice of songs that you're gonna play? Do they differ depending on the venue, or?
I mean, we look at it like the type of band that we are, because a lot of people try to say, well, this is R&B or this is funk or this or that. What we've learned over the years, being the band that we are, sometimes you have to be just a little more malleable and a little more flexible. Mm-hmm. And because we've had, we've been able to keep a clean slate on just getting to places early and just being able to do all types of music, even if it was something that we haven't done, we take it back to the shed and we'll go over it. Okay, we can do our version of this, and then we present it, and it's like, wow. I mean, a lot of bands can't do that. So, I kind of give props to the guys that I'm around that not only were able to capture the essence of old music, but listen to other music and be eccentric and say, well, we can do that too. Let's try it. And because we've been able to switch it up, we always were able to, get those jobs and those different, venues where we can bring something different to the table, other than what people expect out of an all-black band. Most people say, well, they're going to do R&B or they're going to funk it up. But when you hear people, say, well, wow, I didn't know he could sing Journey. predominantly white, and
Right.
a lot of people requested shout and songs that they grew up with, and predominantly the audiences that we play for are white audiences, and it wouldn't matter to me what
Right.
what
The genre,
race
culture,
is.
yeah.
We get the same, we get the same response. Like, man, you guys are good, and
That's
it's amazing, man. I really can't explain it.
I look, I'm seeing it. I'm just listening and picturing what you're saying in my head, and that's pretty amazing, man. Like, and it just shows the talent that it takes and the understanding of the music. Now, okay, let's say that are you guys able to foresee? Sometimes do you get chance to foresee ahead a crowd that you're going to? Like, let's say you're going to a city, and I don't know, maybe like, because do you ever worry about getting somewhere and having a list of maybe songs to do from the 70s or the 60s, and come to find out the crowd is top 40s? Or are you all able to kind of foresee what you need to prepare to play beforehand?
I mean, I'll say this: we play for every age, from high school parties to bar mitzvahs. I mean, that's the widespread of it. And so, say if an agent calls us and say, "Hey, we got a show for y'all guys to do down in Carolina at Chapel Hill,"
okay.
and we already know when we go to Chapel Hill, we already know what to expect from Chapel Hill. We've been down to Chapel Hill, so we know what kind of music they like,
right,
because of the area. And most of the times, they treat our set list like a jukebox. They say, "Well, we don't want this song, these songs, but we want this and these songs." So it's kind of like just depending on where we're going, but we always try to be prepared and have material no matter where we go. And I guess in the 45 years of this band being in existence, they've been able to, really capitalize on that, and we never had a problem with that.
Well, yeah, because in that range of time, I mean, you can definitely be able to keep up with the music that people want to hear. And it's amazing to be able to just have that wide range. Now, when it comes to instruments wise, because obviously to do this, I mean, you're singing different types of music, and I'm assuming, that these different types of music don't always require the same type of instruments. So are you guys switching up? Do you have to switch up, or are you able to play it using the same instruments? I mean, do you have a whole truck full of one's a piano set, one's, you know what I'm saying?
Well, we pretty much have the basic instrumentation that would cover what a live band will be able to, present on stage. We have the bass, the guitar, we have the drums, and we have percussion, we have pads, and the drummers, and that, and then I play the keys. So any other sounds that we don't have, I just double up on the keys and make sure I have my sound set. And when they look up on stage and see 8 people, and there's only 4 musicians, and they hear horns, strings, drums, bass,
right,
piano, flute, they be like, "What in the world?"
Right.
All the other players that is playing this stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we've been, fortunate to be able to, cover most of the stuff that would require us to have more instrumentation, but we're able to bring that instruments to the table. And most people, you gotta understand one thing too. When it comes to live music, if it sounds relevant and relative to what a person already knows, it's not a problem.
Of course.
Now, if you hit some bad notes and singing some stuff that don't go along with what they know, then it's a problem. You never had that situation.
Right.
But that is pretty much the gist of how we capture the audience. If we can play something that sounds in the same key and it got the same contents in it, people are just pleased by it. And then what we do on stage, the attitude, how we interact with the crowd, that's the other aspect of performing that really, captures people's attention.
Right. And that's and like what he said to all the listeners out there, and especially the musicians, because there's a lot of musicians and producers who listen to this show, and let that also be, somewhat of a note to the young folks out there who might not know it. A lot do know it, and if you're inclined musically, then it should know. But it's notes to understand, just like he just said. It's like before all of the instruments changed, and there was the auto tunes and the synthesizers and all those different, certain things. Music before all of this was live, and it was played with a lot of the instruments that he just said. It's just that things changed over the years and over the times where they came out with all these different pieces. But it's just to let everyone know that good music still comes from live bands, and a lot of, hey, look at it this way. Like think about it, a lot of the music that people hear today actually came from back in the day. There's a lot of loops, a lot of things of that nature. And these things were being played with the drums, with the guitars and things like that. And then when they were remade today, they were just played on different instruments, right?
Yes, that's how it goes. I mean, a lot of the sounds in keyboards and programs and a lot of machines they have now are from actual live instruments and people who actually played them. I mean, if you go back to the 80s and listen to a lot of the 80s music, sampling became an art form, but they had to get it from somewhere. So before there was actually something to sample, there was always live music. People didn't really agree with the sampling because they thought it was a cheating way of trying to create something without actually having to learn it. But I mean, it became an art for those who used it as an art form. But I mean, today's music is more programmed. But now, if you go to a show and listen to a Jay-Z where you hear tracks on an album, but then you hear it live with a band, you're like, oh man, you even more hype.
Exactly.
So the element of playing live music is just that much better. I mean, you can't beat it, no matter what you do or how hard you try.
Right. There's definitely a difference because, you hear that that music actually catches, it more so catches your body. It's like you can feel the vibration around you. That's just me. I noticed that with live music myself. You know what I mean? There's more of a vibration in the building. Now, where can the people check you out? I mean, have you guys got any? No. Before I get into that, is there a CD that people can pick up, or is there something that where people can go see you at, or what's coming up next for your shows, or?
Well, what we're working on now, what we're working on now is just because I know this band has been that band that has done cover music for years. So, the question always comes up, when are you guys going to come up with some original stuff? And when you're going to do this? Because, your guys are just as good. And,
right.
Y'all do other people's music good, but I'm pretty sure if y'all put together some original music of your own, it'll be just as good, if not better. Right. And so, we took that in consideration. And right now we're in the studio currently working on some songs that we're going to release. Right now, all we have is just the audio and some video of the things that we have done, which is mainly just covers of other music. But what we wanted to do between now and next year is get some original music out there that will still, present what we represent on stage and captivate the audience. We just wanted to have some original pieces that people can actually, have for themselves with us.
I mean, yeah, man, because I'm sure everyone would love to see that. I mean, there's such a uniqueness for nowadays for what you guys do. And don't get me wrong, as you said, there's a lot. I mean, you've got live bands out there. There's no doubt about that. But with the ground with the ground that Time for Change has covered, with the way you guys bring the music to the table, with the way you bring your own stage show to the table, I think the industry nowadays is missing a lot of that. And not to be culturally biased, but especially with black bands, especially, they can bring that funk and that sound and that soul to the table. There's not much of any of that going on anymore. And so
well, there's a reason for that. I mean, the music becomes so disposable nowadays, so people's attention span on what's really good is only as good as what's good until the next thing comes by that's better. And so that changes the scope of it. Whereas you have a band that's been around for 45 years, nobody ever hears, and then they hear it and say, wow.
Right.
Wow, where have they been? And then you have all these artists that come out and they're like, yeah, it was hot last week. Now we have such and such inside. And then next week somebody else will be hot after that. Mm-hmm. So it's a gap in what people listen to and how they attach themselves to it versus, the older generation who still listens to the music from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Right. And so, we try to somewhat bridge the gap on the live side, but then we just want to be able to bridge the gap on the original side as well. Because if the younger generation can get a hold of, what's been going on for years, and the reason why music is still in existence is because of the old school music that was made years ago, then that would give them a better understanding of, an appreciation for music, and it wouldn't be so disposable. There's so many artists today that they didn't have artists like this back in the day, and everybody couldn't get record deals. Now it's like, it doesn't even matter.
Oh, man, right.
You go to YouTube, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're singing a song out like that, you get a million hits, and all of a sudden he's got a deal. And back in the day, it was people like trying their hardest to get some kind of recognition and still couldn't get it. I mean, that's why they had one-hit wonders. Right. Because, if they couldn't make the second hit, they would get cut and they would go to the next. So I mean, it's just a generation change, but I mean, we could get back to the essence of that, you know, if we could just bridge the gap, and if other artists that are successful can join in and kind of, you know, put 2 more cents into allowing people to appreciate the music versus just trying to keep something fresh going all the time, because now you have a microwave generation where they want it now, and if you don't give it to them now, they're on to the next interest, you know, and that's the sad part about live bands, that we can't really exist, because if people ain't coming out to see you, then you ain't working.
Right.
And so, you know, and that's just the truth. I mean, and it's been hard, but, you know, fortunately for 45 years, this band has been full time working off of that aspect of live music. So I really appreciate them and you know, just being a part of it.
And you know what? That also, like you say, that comes from you know, having a, you know, while even myself, I try to appreciate good music lovers, because see, like you say, you have 2 different sides. You got the sides that, like you said, they're more microwave, and they just kind of, I mean, people just want to download it real quick. They just want to log on to it and get it real quick. And then you have people like you guys, fans, who like to go out and enjoy the music. I mean, people want to go have dinner. You know what I'm saying? You know, they want to go out and just, you know, have a good lounge for a night, or have a good live band feeling. And that's a great thing to want to do that. And I think those are kind of the people who go behind you guys. But as you say, if we could take and get more of the younger generation of people to realize that, hey, you know, this is where a lot of this music came from and originated from, then they would have a more of appreciation for it as well.
And I mean, and that's true, because now ask somebody who's 20 years old what a record is.
Oh man.
They'll be like, "You need a CD?
Right.
What's that? Or cassette? Like, what's a cassette? What's a VHS tape?" I mean, most people don't know the history. Yeah. All they know is MP3 download, internet, you know, iPod, iTunes.
Yeah.
And so we start talking terms like recorders, and but what was that? That was the stuff that the music you're listening to was made from. People recorded on stuff like this, you know, and they transferred over the years to this, and it's kind of amazing that they don't teach that. And a lot of kids just don't know it. They're just like, yeah, MP3. You know, they don't know that the stuff was on a phonograph, and they had to transfer it and mix it. And what is that? You know, so the education is not being taught. I don't know whose responsibility it is per se, but I know as far as us, we just try to keep the essence of live music there. And when we do get people that come up to us and appreciate it, then we understand that at least they know where it came from, you know.
Hey, brother, it's like, I tell you, it's like you say, man, nowadays, and it's amazing that it's such a thick line when it should be a thin line between that, but it's true. What would people, some of the people now, what would they do if they had to spin a record? You know what I'm saying? or
I mean, DJs don't even spin records. They got CDs now. I mean,
right.
Like, it's been transformed now, so people don't show it with crates. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just show CDs with crates for records. Now they just got a pack of CDs, or they got a computer with playlists. You know what I'm saying? And touch the screen, just sit up there
and click it.
It does it by itself.
Absolutely, man. All right, well,
I'm not hating. No, I'm not hating. I don't want nobody to sound like I'm hating. I'm just trying to express from my views of how music's been changed from 1979 to, you know, 2019. It's just a different spectrum of how people absorb music today, you know. So I just want to put that out there as a disclaimer. I'm not hating.
Right.
And people that do that, I understand.
Right. No, you know what? And you're right. I want everybody out there to know, like he said, he's not hating. And I vouch for what he's saying myself, because that stuff that's not hating. It's just simple lessons. That's all it is. It's just like if you know, and it's just important. It's like when you go to school and you learn history. You see what I'm saying? And it's just important for people out there to know what else, to out there to also know what else went on and where things really kind of originated from. So nah, brother, like we 100% feel you. You know what I'm saying? And just hopefully everybody.
I had to say that for a record, because you know a lot of people, they don't understand and they think, well, you know, he doesn't appreciate the new. No, I appreciate the old and the new, but when I really look at music, nothing's really new. It's just presented in a different way. Nothing's really new.
That's
all
real.
the stuff has been around, but it's just presented in a different light, so people see it differently. But it's just
that's real, man. And we and you know, and like I say, so that's why we, you know, here we appreciate what you guys do, and I mean we appreciate it, as I say, more than for the fact that you guys are just a band, but we appreciate that you keep that old, that you keep that original feel within us, and you keep that around, man.
I mean, we got to. I think it's our responsibility. I mean, for what we do. I mean, it would be a disservice to the fans and people who appreciate music if we did anything less than that. I'm hoping that all the young people who are listening are trying to, be inspired or aspiring artists or musicians. Stay at it for your history. See where it came from, because you'll be amazed to know that it's transformed over the years. And once you understand the essence of how things have changed, you can appreciate it that much more and become better, because it's all about being better. Nothing stays the same. It always changes. So if you can be better, today than you were yesterday, musically inclined, get that education, get that history, man. And we just want to keep, being a good face for those who are trying to come up to, because you have to know where you came from. You have to know where it came from in order for you to be the best that you can be.
Exactly, man. And, so we appreciate you. Listen, Jay, we appreciate you for stopping through. Now, before we go, let everybody out there in Radio Land know where they can check you all out on the social media, or if there's any dates coming up where you guys are going to have a show, and because we're everywhere, like we're global right now, so maybe someone's going to be where you are next, or.
Well, I'll let everybody know. I mean, anybody that knows us now, we're on Facebook. TFC Band Live is our Facebook page. And we have a fan page as well. And then we also have a website, which is www.tfcbandlive.com. And on either one of those pages, either the website or the Facebook, we'll be updating our schedules of where we're going to be. We might be in your area. We shout you out. I mean, we're all over the place. I mean, we've been out of the 50 states, we've been at least 48 of them.
Right.
The last year, just traveling and being on tour. So, we could always be in your area. But if you follow us on that, we might be right around the corner from you.
I know that's right. And you know what? And I'm about to ask you in a minute for any salutes or shout outs that you might want to give. But I wanted to give a shout out to actually one of my cousins. I don't want to sound ghetto to everybody out there and people over the world who don't know what that is. But, a cousin of mine, Kevin, I wanted to give him a shout out to you guys and say thank you from him, because he listens to you guys heavy, as a matter of fact. And when he knew that you all were coming on the show, he's like, oh, man, he hit me up like, man, you having TFC on the band? A few people. But he was like, you having TFC on the show? Man, I love them. I see them, and so I learned a lot about you guys from him as well. And so, again, on behalf of him, and us at Hotline, we want to thank you guys for what you do. Also as well. Now, is any salutes or shout outs you all want to give?
Well, I just want to say three things. One, and this is just me personally, I always like to give, God the props first, because without him, we can't do anything without him. And that's been how we've been able to be still relevant and successful in what we do, by keeping God first. So that's the first thing. Second thing, I just want to give a shout out to all the fans, everybody listening, and anybody that's coming up aspiring to be an artist or a musician. Just keep doing your thing, man, because, you don't get it today, keep trying. We kept trying, and every day we're thankful for what we have. And the third thing, I just want to give a shout out to you for having us on the show and how it all came together. Sometimes you never know where your blessings are, right. And if you're just available and ready to go, and that's how the doors open. So, everybody just keep your hopes up and stay grounded and follow your dreams. Absolutely.
Everybody, like you said, make sure you go check out TFC, also known as Time for Change. And take that name seriously, too, because, these guys are doing music wholeheartedly as well. So take the title for change, because when they came up with this title, as he said before, it was a true feeling. It wasn't a gimmick like a lot of the names you hear nowadays. So take that to heart. Know that this band is really from the heart, and make sure you go out and support them and check for them on my Facebook page as well. We'll be keeping up with you guys as well, Jay, and you're welcome to come back and talk to us anytime. Oh, and when your show date's coming up, when you know where you're going to be at, let us know. Let us know here on the Keith Harris Show, man, and we'll make sure people all over the place, you're welcome to come up here and tell everybody where you're going to be so they can meet you guys out there in line.
Man, I appreciate you, man. We love you, man, and thanks for all the love from everybody out there being supportive, man. Anytime you need us, man, we there.
All right, man. So we'll see you soon, and we love y'all too, and keep doing what you're doing, bro. Tell all the rest of the band we said what's up to and what's going on with them.
I definitely will. Some of them might be listening now. They probably hit me up now.
I know that's right.
I appreciate
Yeah, I know that's right. So if y'all listening, what's going on, y'all? We thank y'all for coming on today, and we love y'all, and we glad y'all came through. And like I say, it's a blessing. So keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much. You have a good one now.
You too. We'll talk to you later, Jay.
All right.
That was Time for Change.